Welcome to Whippoorwillholler. I'm Miss Lori and this is Mr. Brown. We live in the hills of Arkansas. We love the Lord. Keepers of the old way, but accept some of the new. We love to cook and we love to eat. We love to garden. It's in our blood. It's how we stay sustainable and fill our pantry. We do a lot of canning and preserving. We live a sustainable life. We love our family. We work hard. And every once in a while, we like to dance. So y'all join us. The wind is going to be really rough today. Before the storm and probably after the storm, it's supposed to be around 45 miles per hour. During the storm, it could get up to about 70 if that squall line comes through like they said it is. And then after that, we're really not supposed to get a lot of rain with it though. Mainly straight line winds and maybe a tornado. But after that, we could get snow flurries. Is that not crazy? Anyways, I've come out and I'm covering stuff up because my hydrangeas are starting to leave. I mean, they're getting their leaves, and my beautiful daffodils, I don't know. I went out to the cottage garden and you see I've got my row crop covers over everything that I've got planted out there, which is onions and garlic and herbs and cabbage and kohlrabi and I done forgot. Anyways, lettuce, spinach, radishes, and then I've got stuff in the greenhouse that I'm going to have to bring in because I don't have no heat out there right now. So I'll bring all my little plants in that I started from seed into the sunroom, and because I don't want it's supposed to get like 24 by Monday in the morning, and then the high's only supposed to be about 32, and it's supposed to be really cold up till Wednesday, and then we're going to warm up again. I mean, we're pretty much used to this kind of weather. That's why I try not to get in too big a hurry planting too many things outside, because we go through this every year. The cold crop plants, they usually do pretty good as long as you cover them up with the row crop covers. I hope that my garlic ends don't get bit. I covered them up. Maybe they won't, because they were doing so good and looking so pretty. But yeah, I haven't been able to do much out there yet. Of course, it's still just not time yet, but I got it covered up, hoping that it'll keep stuff from running so much that I worked so hard for, you know what I mean? We did get some rain, and of course the pond's really muddy, but we didn't get much. These storms that come through like this, you never know. You just have to keep your eye to the sky and listen to your weatherman. And one thing that I do have and always have, and that's a all-weather radio, because they will keep you updated on any severe thing that's going on. So if anybody's and they're going to be in the middle of this storm that you just don't even know what really it's going to do. Let's just say prayers for each other. Of course, by the time this video goes out, it'll be over with. And hoping that, or praying that everything will be okay. I'm going to throw a meatloaf together real quick and get it in the oven, because I'm going to get a few things cooked up just in case our electricity goes off, because it could very easily. I'm going to spray my loaf pan with just some olive oil. This ain't going to be a real big meatloaf. That's just a pound of ground beef. And let's see, I'm going to go ahead and season it with some salt. About a half a teaspoon. About a half a teaspoon of pepper. I'm going to put a half a teaspoon of thyme. A half a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. I'm going to put a half a teaspoon of, this is a smoked paprika, or you can use a sweet. I'm going to put a teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of garlic powder, and I'm going to put about a half a teaspoon of ground mustard. I think that's all my seasonings. I've got some fourth of a red bell pepper that I'm sauteing over there. And then I've got about a fourth of an onion that I'm sauteing just a little bit. That way, I don't like to have any crunchy peppers and onions in my meatloaf when it gets done. So I like to saute it a little bit. You don't have to cook it completely, just kind of, where they kind of get tender. That's hot, so. And I've got a half a sleeve of cracker crumbs, and I put enough milk over the cracker crumbs just where they would soak it up really good. I don't even know how much milk I put in there, to tell you the truth. I just put enough that they soaked them up really good. So that's a half a sleeve. I've got a video making my grandma's meatloaf recipe. It's probably one of my first videos. But when I go to throw one together, I just start throwing. You know, meatloaf is so versatile, so it's not that big a deal, big issue. I'm going to put 1 egg. If I was doing 2 pounds of hamburger meat, which I usually do, I'd use 2 eggs, and I'd probably use more than a half a sleeve of crackers. So I'm going to put about a tablespoon of worcestershire sauce. And some people like to use tomato sauce. We like ketchup in ours. And I'm going to put 2 good tablespoons. I got my ground mustard in there and all that stuff, so I'm going to start stirring this up. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put my onions and my bell peppers that I softened up a little bit. And you can put as much bell pepper and onion as you want in it. Put any kind of seasonings in it you want. Anyways, this is just a fast meatloaf that I'm going to get in the oven real quick. And I think I'm going to make some mashed potatoes. And I may make some peas and carrots. I'm wanting some veggies really bad. A lot of times when I'm really thinking over my meatloaf and I'm wanting to make quite a bit, I'll do partial ground pork to ground beef. So I got my oven at 350. You know, meatloaf is something you can throw together pretty quick. Get in the oven. Now, I put a glaze on mine, but I'm going to wait just a little while, let it cook for about 30 minutes before I put my glaze on there, because I don't like my glaze to get burnt or overcooked. So this will be plenty for me, Mr. Brown, and then what's left over we can eat tomorrow. We can make a meatloaf sandwich or something like that with it. 350 oven. I'm going to let it cook about 30 minutes and put the glaze on, and then go from there. See, I don't know, I might check it after 20 minutes, because this is not a big meatloaf. I'm going to check it at 20 minutes, put my glaze on, and it should be getting done within about 35-40 minutes. Okay, I just use a simple glaze that we prefer over any glaze for a meatloaf. And one more time, I'm using ketchup, and I found this in there that I need to use up. I'm going to do about a half a cup of ketchup. About a teaspoon of mustard. And just a little bit of brown sugar. About a tablespoon. And that's it. If you want to, you can put just a little splash of vinegar in here. But this is what we like, so there we go. Isn't this just a very vintage looking supper? Meatloaf, mashed potatoes with peas and carrots. And it's so good. Well, after that bad storm, it got cold and got down below freezing. So I had to bring a bunch of plants in from the greenhouse because we still don't have no heat out there, so. They're just kind of hanging out in here in the sunroom. I think in a couple of days it's supposed to warm back up and even be in the 80s. So that way we'll go back outside. Boy, I tell you, this is my favorite time of year. I look back at these pictures and everything's so lush and green, and the harvest is starting to come off, and just look how beautiful the garden just fills out, and you're starting to get your garlic and tomatoes, and you get your cabbages and your big head of cabbage that just is nothing any better. All your harvest, and it's just a good feeling. It's my favorite time of year. All the beauty of the roses and flowers. And it's a lot of hard work, but I think me and Mr. Brown, we feel so much better physically and mentally when it's garden time. And, oh yeah, your back hurts, of course. But it's just so worth it, isn't it? And of course, Mr. Brown, I know he's missing his fishing tournaments. So that'll be coming up pretty soon too. I do hope that our sweet potatoes will do good this year. But don't y'all remember back in the day, everybody helped in the garden, even the children. They were always a part of the planting and the work that it took to get your crops out, and because that's what people depended on to fill their pantries. They did so much canning and preserving, a lot more than they do now. But it wasn't just a hobby. It's what kept everybody fed. Oh, the good old days. Well, I was able to get about 3 flats of some really beautiful fresh strawberries off the fruit truck that come in from Florida. They come into Arkansas in different states, and you had to go to different towns and pick up your flats. But look how pretty these are. These are absolutely beautiful. So me and my daughter picked up 3 flats off the My Fruit Truck. You can go to myfruittruck.com and you can find out when that truck is scheduled to maybe come to your state. Now, they're not real cheap, but I'm telling you, they are some good strawberries. So let's get them cleaned up. Let's make a strawberry pie. Okay, we need to start out by making our glaze for our strawberry pie. And this is the recipe for the Shoneys Strawberry Pie. And I make these every year when we first start getting strawberries. I've got a cup of water that I just put in here, and I'm putting in just 3 ounces of I'm using the sugar-free strawberry gelatin. You can use just the regular gelatin. I'm putting in a half a cup or a whole cup of sugar, and which you can use a sugar substitute. And I'm putting in 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, or you can use arrowroot. Arrowroot seems to have a different texture to it, so I like to use the cornstarch. If you use a sugar substitute, I have made this with monk fruit and it turned out really good. But I have started using sugar-free gelatin, and believe me, it tastes just as good, and it's not as sweet. If you want to, you can even cut back on your sugar a little bit, but using a sugar substitute works out really good. So just bring it to a simmer. But once it comes to a simmer, we got to take it off the heat because it's going to thicken up really quick. So I need to get this off the heat. Okay, I got it off the heat, and we need to let this cool completely down. You see how thick it is already. I really didn't want it to get that thick, but it did. But that's okay. So let's let it cool off before we put it in our pie shell. Okay, I got my strawberries already in my pie. And yes, I'm using a store-bought pie shell, y'all. I've had this since, I think, Thanksgiving of last year out of the freezer. And I'm going to go ahead and use it. I've got a quart of strawberries that I sliced up and put in the bottom of this. I think, sweetened. This is the sweetened ones too. I put a little bit of sugar with them. You can just take your quart of strawberries that you sliced up and fold them into your glaze, or just put it over the top like I just did. But make sure that you work that glaze into them strawberries so that it gets down in there real good. And it's just about that easy. And whenever I make these for the holidays, like if for Easter or something, I always have to make 2. Because if I only make one of these strawberry pies, somebody's going to get upset because they didn't get a piece. But it's a very easy pie to make, and it's so good because them fresh strawberries are starting to come off. We have strawberries coming off here in Newport, Arkansas. They'll be coming off pretty soon too. And we can get some more strawberries. So that was that's the Shoneys Strawberry Pie. It's so easy to make and so good. Put you some whipped topping on that. We're going to put it in the refrigerator and we're going to chill it. It makes a beautiful pie. And it's just very delicious if you like strawberries like we do. I want to show y'all something. This is something that we done when we was very young, and I haven't done it in a long time. But you got your little bit of fresh strawberries, break you up some saltine crackers. Have y'all ever done this? And just mix them with them sweetened strawberries. And this is a quick snack if you don't have, cake or anything to go with strawberries yet. I know you're thinking, oh, that's not good, Miss Lord, but I'm telling you, it is. We used to do this when we was young, and it's so good. Summertime, you'd find you a little pack of crackers and some of them strawberries, and it's delicious, y'all, I'm telling you. And we would do this with pie crust, too. Take pie crust and bake it up, and then just break it up in a bowl of strawberries. So good. Mr. Brown's in his element. Once you look at all these geese, look at them. Beautiful. There's black ones and white ones. They're so pretty. And so many of them. Wow. That's a lot of geese. Isn't that so pretty?
What is it? Hey.
Who's that? This here is a blue-eyed beauty daisy. I hope y'all can hear me through this wind. I've got this container here that I'm wanting to, well, this is a wash tub, and I'm wanting to put some perennials in it. This is the annual, but I've got some perennials that I'm going to put in it, but I thought this was just beautiful, so. And it is a full sun, and this does get full sun right here during summertime, so. These have been whipped around by the wind, so they're looking kind of not so perky, but this is a perennial. This is partial sun, but it'll do good right here. It's called a Mardo Red. I cannot pronounce that. Anyways, I'm going to show it to you. Maybe you can read it. I got these at Lowe's, and my daughter picked up some of these too, my youngest daughter. She's got a container on her front porch that doesn't take just full-blown full sun, and it only gets partial sun. But I'm going to put some in this container too, because I think it's really going to fill it out, and it's a perennial, so it'll come back every year and look pretty. I do like having all the different colors in my garden. I even like the purples. And I can tell you it feels good to have my hands in the soil. I do have, garden tools. But this is my best garden tool right here. I also have some ivy that's growing in here too, and it kind of spills over the side, but I need to put some more ivy around it to come off the sides of the container. I'm going to get me a bucket of compost after I get all these planted, and then I'll cover it with compost. Think about it, Hank. It's a lot of work, but I tell you, you don't want to lose your plants either that you've already got started, and they're doing so well. But these row crop covers, these right here, I think I've had several years. Some of them starting to get holes in them, and that's just because of the wind. But they do save a lot of your plants. And I still have tulle, because if I don't put that over it, all the little bugs and insects like to get on my cabbages and stuff like that. So they're getting sunshine today because hopefully this big cold blast is done for a while. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I know it was just a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but sometimes that's just what we have to do as content creators, because we just have to take y'all with us with whatever we're doing, or sometimes we just can't even get a video out because life is so busy. But I think that some of my favorite videos is just spending time with y'all. Don't forget that I still have my first cookbook and my second cookbook. I still got them for sale. Blessed Table and Just That Easy. Blessed Table is $20, and that includes shipping and handling. Just That Easy, my second cookbook, is $28, and that includes shipping and handling. And I always put all that information down, my information below every video, so you'll have my address and everything on there. So if you'd like to have them cookbooks or just one of them, some of y'all have the second one but not the first, and some of y'all have the first but not the second one, and some of y'all have both, and I really appreciate y'all so much. We've been working hard getting them out. There's some days that when I go to the post office, I've got nearly 100 cookbooks that I have to get shipped out. So when you're doing that every day, and it's been such a blessing of how many that I've sold so far, and y'all have been so great, and I appreciate it. So you know, it's funny because some of the orders, and not even the orders, I want to tell you a funny story before I leave, because I've got to go to the doctor here in just a little bit. I got some moles I've got to get taken off. But it's just been about 3 weeks ago, I got a Christmas card in the mail, and it took that long for me to get it. The reason I'm telling y'all this is because I don't know what's going on. I really don't, with the post office and stuff. But sometimes it can be close. It can be way over a week before I even get your orders and your money in the mail. And then when I do go to the P.O. box, there could be 75 orders in there just waiting on me. And this is every day. So 75 orders, you're somewhere in there in that bundle. And then the next day I go, there may be 50 orders. So you're somewhere in that, in that bundle. So what we do is I go through them and I go by the date. So the earliest date to the latest date, and get the ones that come. But I'm telling you, some of them, it's taken 2 weeks for me to get some of them. So, and then, for me to get to all those and then get them shipped out and then back to y'all, sometimes it can take a little while. So I apologize if it seems like it's taking a while. But, we can't control everything. So we just do the best we can. And we appreciate y'all so much. So I'm going to leave y'all with this beautiful day that is starting to warm up. And I can stand here and think of so much I need to be doing. But like I said, I've got a doctor's appointment. And I got to go do that. I'm also going to be gone for a few days. Danny will be here on the homestead taking care of stuff. I'm really excited because y'all know how long I've talked about this big picture window going to be put into my cabin. And it looks out on this cottage garden right here. Well, finally, they're going to be able to get to it here in a couple days. I'm going to be gone when they're doing it, but when I get back, it'll be done. I'm so excited. I cannot wait for y'all to see it. So it's just one more thing that I can thank y'all so much for. So y'all have a beautiful, blessed week. And I'll see y'all probably, I don't know if I'll see you this weekend or not. Like I said, I'm going out of town. But if I don't, believe me, I'll see y'all in a few days. So y'all take care. And whoever was in line of all these storms that come through, I mean, we were really blessed that we did not get what a lot of people did get. And so if you did and you had any damage or anybody that lost a family member, I don't know what the count was, but you know, our prayers are with y'all. I'm telling you, these storms can be so scary. And then the next day you can have a day like this. And we're very blessed with these days. So God bless everybody. Remember how much that me and Mr. Brown love y'all. But most of all, God loves you so much. So bye-bye for now. Soaking up the sunshine. Soaking up that beautiful sunshine.